How's everyone going? Just going to give you a little minute to get on here, and I'm just going to head over to one of these Facebook groups and see that we're all good. And I think I might need to let some people in. I meant to do that before. I hope you're having a great day, guys. My Saturday has been absolutely nutso today. I have just been up since, I think, 4:30 and just been go, go, go the whole time. So this is kind of nice to kind of take a breather and hang out with you guys and just talk smoothies, which is just what I love to do. So I'm just going to quickly, I have now just hopped into this group. I've got to just approve a couple of people so they can join us. But we should be live over on YouTube, as well as the current Supercharged Smoothie Bootcamp and our main Facebook group, the whole collective community. So we should be good to go. Let me check on this. Approve you and approve you. So I can't actually see, because I'm on a different screen right now, I can't actually see who's on. So if you're on, please say hi. And I won't be able, if you're on Facebook, I won't be able to see your name unless, oh yes, I can see that now. I won't be able to see your name unless you can click that link for me. If you can click that link in the description of the post, it'll help me know who I'm talking to, which makes it much more enjoyable for me. Thank you. So, I see some people have joined us. Hello, hello. Let me just, oh, were you? Someone was listening to yesterday's video. Oh, and Becky's here too. Hey, Becky, thanks for coming for as long as you can. That would be awesome. Now, we are talking keto smoothies today, which I have to say, this video has been a long time coming because we've been running the smoothie boot camps for probably around 2 years. And we have just been getting requests for a keto or a low carb smoothie basically that whole time. And I just didn't have an awareness or the headspace, or I just wasn't in that world to really get it and to understand it. And so it really wasn't until, what would it have been now, 4 or 5 months ago, that our family, well, actually specifically one of our daughters, had to go on this therapeutic ketogenic diet to address some parasite issues in her gut and to restore some gut bacteria balance. And so I went basically, not 100%, but I kind of went on the same program to support her. And it's been a really interesting discovery into this world of a ketogenic lifestyle, particularly a therapeutic ketogenic lifestyle. We've been working, as many of you would know, we've been working with Cultured Wellness to, get rid of these parasites and work on our gut, which has been amazing. And we have since then done a couple of stool tests for our other kids, and we have decided that our whole family is going to go on this ketogenic lifestyle come January. So I won't say that I'm not nervous. Like there's a part of me that is a little bit nervous about how that's going to go for the other kids who may not be quite as willing. So it's going to be interesting. And so this is why we have started to have to figure out a ketogenic smoothie. And so at the start, the idea of having these keto smoothies actually kind of, like, before I had to do it for our family, I had no interest in doing it because I just liked my other smoothies too much. And you'll see why soon. But having now gone through this process of figuring out what's required for a good, solid, robust ketogenic smoothie, it's actually pretty cool. And you're going to figure out with me today, it's not difficult, but it is a little bit to get your head around if you're new to the ketogenic world. Hey, Elle, nice to see you. Hello, I can't see who said, yep, I'm here too. Just click the link if you can, and then I'll know who it is. Good to hear you're keen. Yes, this is a whole new world of smoothies. It's definitely different, and it's definitely something that can really nurture you when you're going through. Because, okay, here's the thing. During this time of coaching people through Supercharged Smoothies, we basically get, and also the fiber challenge. This is the number one feedback we get from people who are following a ketogenic lifestyle is, my digestion has gone out the window since I have started eating this ketogenic way. And even though I'm feeling like I'm losing weight, which is a goal for many people when they go on the ketogenic diet, And I'm experiencing better brain clarity, which is another reason some people do. But people are saying that they can't get their fiber requirements in, which, as many of you would know if you've done our fiber challenge, is just crucial. It's so important that we get that fiber in. A minimum of, well, we want to be shooting for 35 grams and then upward a day of fiber. And so when people start following this ketogenic lifestyle, that's usually the first thing to go is fiber. But oh my goodness, it can't be. Fiber is just ridiculously important. And so it's tricky though, because most fibers, most high fiber foods are also high carb, right? And that's what we're avoiding, or one of the things we're avoiding when we're eating keto. So we have nutted it out. It's a bit of a magic formula. There's a bit of a magic trick to make it all work. And we're gonna figure it all out today. Not sure if you can see me, but I'm on. Awesome. No, I can't see anyone, so don't worry. If you're in your jammies or picking your nose or something, I'm not going to know. I have a funny story about that. I was once on a Zoom call with some people who I didn't know very well. They were kind of like, I guess, influencers in the health world. It was kind of years ago when we were first starting the Whole Food Collective and forming some partnerships. Oh my goodness, guys. I got on a Zoom call with these 3 other people. I had a newborn baby, I believe, at the time, and I was just so sleep deprived. I went into my dark bedroom, thinking it was just a voice call, mind you. Went to my dark bedroom, unmade bed, a t-shirt, no bra, no makeup, no hair done, no nothing. And I don't know what I was doing. I was probably doing embarrassing things like scratching my nose. I don't know what I was doing. But at the end of the call, about 45 minutes later, I flicked my screen back because I was taking notes on a Word document, flicked my screen back and saw that we were all on video, and it was highly embarrassing. So long story short, no, I can't see you, and don't worry. Hope you enjoyed that embarrassing story from me. Okay, so now when I say that there are lots of reasons that people can want to eat a ketogenic diet, I just want to make it clear that I'm not a health professional, and I would never and I could never advise anyone to go onto this ketogenic lifestyle. I would love for you to reach out to your health professional, a nutritionist, someone that can guide you to make sure that you're doing it properly. Because one thing that I have discovered in this research has been the most important thing on a ketogenic diet is the ratios, right, of carbs, protein, and fats. Like that's the big goal of a ketogenic lifestyle, to get that right. And if we don't, we can be very malnourished. We can have some big consequences. And when I Googled some basic keto smoothie recipes, I was astounded because, it's our job to do the nitty-gritty number crunching for the nutrition data. I was plugging it into our little spreadsheet that we've got that kind of pumps out what percentage of energy comes from each of those 3 things. I was astounded, like none of them, not one of them came anywhere near meeting the criteria for a good, sustainable ketogenic diet. And so I think it's really important that when you're doing this, you're not just focusing on reducing those carbs. What you really need to be doing, what we need to be doing, is making sure we're getting plenty of good fats and we're getting plenty of protein and plenty of fiber. So we're gonna sort of unpack that and make it all doable for you guys today. I'm gonna keep it quite short. We'll probably be finished by 1/4 to the hour, so in half an hour, because I've just got a crazy amount of things to do, and I don't think we're going to need that long because it is quite simple, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Just checking those comments. All right, so guys, this is the thing. I'm going to flick across to this other screen, so I'm going to see your comments for just a little bit. We're going to look at the ratios. So, okay, yeah. So apart from the side benefit of weight loss, which is why a lot of people go and eat keto, this diet is also anti-inflammatory. It's also really good for brain clarity. A lot of people report that they have clearer thinking, that they've got less brain fog. And because of the vast amounts of good fats, it has a wonderful effect on reducing anxiety and stress-related symptoms in our mental health, which has been something that's been pretty cool to witness. And so not only is the good fats going to be great for that, but it's also the magic trick I'm going to show you has been proven to reduce anxiety too. So I'm going to tell you about that. Now, this ratio that we're trying to get right with our keto smoothie is this. You don't have to remember this because I've kind of I've done the math and it all works out. But so you know, this is what we normally. Okay, sorry, my spreadsheet just went crazy. Yeah, okay, so this is what we normally get. So 50 to 55% of our energy is coming from carbohydrates on a standard diet, 20 to 25% from protein, and about 20 to 25% from fat. So with the ketogenic diet, it is completely put on its head, I guess you could say, and this is what the target is, to make sure that we're getting what we need. 60 to 75% or even higher of our energy coming from good fats, 15 to 30% of our energy from protein, and only 5 to 10% from carbs. And that's what makes it a little bit tricky with a smoothie, because when I was, putting the recipes into my magic spreadsheet that we spent a long time creating to make sure it was all working out, I realized how difficult it can be to make a smoothie that ticks those boxes, even if you're just doing veggies, nuts and seeds, and a bit of liquid. Like, honestly, you don't even need to be putting like high carb fruits in there to make that smoothie go out way outside of those ratios. So I'm interested to know, just before we kind of go into how to make it all happen, I'm interested to know, of you guys that are on the call here today, how many of you have, are you currently eating a ketogenic, in a ketogenic way? And if so, for how long have you been doing it? I'm super interested to hear sort of where you guys are at. Cool. All right, so the great thing about the way that we're going to solve this issue today is that the solution is kind of it lands in a very happy place with a double win. So not only does this solution reduce those carbs right down to that 5 to 10% of our energy coming from carbs, but it also means that the smoothie is going to be fantastic for our gut health. Okay, Elle, that's interesting that you're not eating keto. So you've just turned up to learn about it and to see what it's all about. That's awesome, because I'm pretty new to the keto world too, so I get it. And so basically this solution is fermenting our smoothie. Now, I know that sounds disgusting. I know that sounds gross, but please don't be scared off, because it's not it is what it sounds like, but it's not as bad as what it sounds like. And so I had heard about the world of fermented smoothies for such a long time, but I just had zero interest in trying it out. And so it wasn't until I had to that I tried it, and I was like, oh, well, actually, this isn't too bad at all. So there's two ways that we can achieve this result. And the strategy that you choose will be dependent on how ready you are to experience that fermented smoothie. But fermenting the smoothie is not the only consideration. So before we go into fermenting, I want to have a look at the ingredients of a great keto smoothie. I'm just looking at okay, so someone else is not keto, but I love the Walls protocol, which does have one level of keto. Oh, hey, Linda, that's great to hear. Yeah, okay, Susie, that's good to know too. Yeah, and it's really good that you're here before you embark, or even if you do, before you embark on this keto lifestyle, because like I said, it can be so tricky to get it right, and it just makes me sad to see so many people going gung-ho and following the Pinterest recipes and feeling horrible and not understanding why. So making sure we've got all these things in place is crucial. So we're going to flick across again. Oops, where am I? I'm going to show you my blender in a minute. We're going to blend it all up. But here we go. So I'm assuming that you guys have done the Supercharged Smoothie Bootcamp or the challenge before. And so you've got some understanding of the basic ingredients that we pretty much put into every smoothie, different combinations of nuts and seeds and things for different benefits that they each have. And so I'm not really going to go into the nitty-gritty benefits of each individual ingredient unless it's super relevant. And so just know that when we start talking about seeds in general, just remember that all of those seeds are going to be super beneficial. One, because of their good fats, and that's going to help our brain health and our gut health and our moods. It's also going to give us lots of the vitamin E. I'm not sure if you remember, I often reference Dr. Neil Bernard. and he's a doctor who really specializes in brain health and avoiding Alzheimer's and dementia, etc. And he said his number one tip for avoiding Alzheimer's and dementia is to increase our intake of vitamin E. And so when we're looking at that, we want to think of things like sunflower seeds. We want to think of, I've put some vanilla powder in this booster as well because it's got great vitamin E levels as well as some of those other nuts and seeds. But sunflower seeds particularly are just super, super awesome for vitamin E. The other things that we need to consider, so in the blend, I've chosen the nuts and seeds that are highest in fat content because that's so important for getting, 75% or more of our energy from fat, right? And that's the reason that works is because our body then turns to burning that instead of our carbs. And so that's what helps us reach that ketosis that people talk about. And so we want to have all those good fats in there. So what we want to do is avoid nuts and seeds that are lower in fat and choose those higher ones. So there's recommended nuts and seeds for those following keto diet. The ones I've chosen for their particular benefits are hemp seeds, and I'll go into that in a second, macadamia nuts, and that makes it so delicious too, chia seeds, sunflower seeds, brown linseeds, and then sesame seeds. They're the seeds. Now, the other great thing about seeds that you may have actually heard me mention recently too was a recent study that I read. 18 grams of mixed seeds a day has been found to reduce our levels of inflammation markers from like 57 to 75% within a few weeks. I hope that was weeks and not months. I'd have to just go and check that. But there's more than 18 grams of mixed seeds in this booster. And so not only is it giving us all those brain health benefits and those gut health benefits and also helping us reach ketosis, but it's also helping us reduce that inflammation, which inflammation is just the root cause of so many different things. And so if we can avoid that, or reduce it, that would be just so amazing to do. And so the other things that we need to think about with our nuts and seeds are our amino acids. And actually tonight when we talk about, I'm not sure if any of you plan to come to our vegan gut loving smoothie workshop, but in that one we go into the crucial amino acids that our gut needs to repair the holes in our gut lining. And because it's a vegan gut loving smoothie and we don't do bone broth and gelatin, which are the go-tos to heal the gut lining, we talk about foods that have those essential amino acids. And so many of these nuts and seeds not only have all 4 of those very specific amino acids, but those hemp seeds and chia seeds, they have all 9 of what we call the essential amino acids, which are basically essential for function of our body, for tissue growth and for repair and for all those wonderful, amazing things that our body just manages to do without us thinking about. And so when we have more of those amazing seeds and nuts, it just helps our body function. And so often we can forget about them because, they're basic, they're simple, they've been around forever, but they are just so incredibly powerful. So they form a large part of this keto smoothie booster blend that we're going to pair with our base. The base is fruit, veg, and liquid, and this base is going on top. So the other thing in the base that I've put in there, okay, cool, just checking in with you guys over on the other thing. So the other thing that's important to put in there is protein. Now this was, believe it or not, this was the absolute trickiest part of this formula to get right. To get those ratios of carbs, fat, and protein right was just really tricky. And so the solution that I found to that was a good solid dose of collagen powder in that keto smoothie. And you will see that collagen powder makes an appearance in many keto smoothie recipes. In fact, this one's front and center in my kitchen because I've been using it so much. This is the Gut-Licious book from Cultured Wellness, and that has some keto smoothies in there. And in there they say about a tablespoon of collagen is good, and so that's basically around about what we've gone for in the booster blend so that we get enough protein. Because if I reduced it down, it was just not enough protein in that blend. And so it's really great for satiation as well. And obviously it's really the double bonus is that it's also really good for our skin and our hair and our nails and all those, collagen beauty powders are sold like crazy, but it's what we often don't realize is that it's such a great form of protein. In fact, it is basically just protein. And so being able to increase the protein in our smoothie blend without adding those synthetic protein powders, even the good protein powders, I'm just a little bit, I won't go down the rabbit hole, but the processing methods of making any protein powder can be a little bit dubious and can create some free glutamates and all sorts of things. So I just wanted to avoid having to put anything that wasn't 100, like I just prefer that collagen powder. And so at the moment we're using a bovine collagen powder from 180 Nutrition. And we're also right now sourcing a replacement for that, which is a marine, like a sustainably caught marine collagen, which is more bioavailable to the body. And so pairing those nuts and seeds with the collagen is a really great way to help the fat and protein content of that keto smoothie come up. And so the other things that I've gone for to add in there are things like Psyllium Husk. Now, the great thing about Psyllium Husk is, remember how we were talking about the importance of making sure we have enough fiber when we're following this ketogenic way of life, because it's the first thing to go usually when we cut out carbs. The Psyllium Husk is high in fiber. In fact, it's just mostly fiber, but the carb content is really low. And so that's one of the great ways that we can just support those functions. I mean, without fiber, guys, I mean, forgive me if you've done the fiber challenge, just bear with me for 1 minute. But without fiber, we can't detoxify, we can't remove the toxins from our body. We can't remove our excess estrogen, and our hormone health suffers. It helps with our weight management. It helps avoid heart disease. It helps avoid certain types of cancers. But importantly, it's also our gut health. You know, the fibers feed the microbes in our gut, and we need to have so much fiber going in there. And if we don't, then our physical health, but also our mental health, will suffer significantly. And so we really got to focus on that fiber when we're eating this keto way. Now, the other thing that I made sure was in there, when I looked at the nutritional profile of these smoothies, even with the booster blend ingredients that I've told you about, selenium was lacking. And so that was the case with all of our smoothie blends that didn't have oats in them, because oats have selenium. But when we made gluten-free versions, that selenium really dropped down. And so what I've done is I've added Brazil nuts in there, because Brazil nuts have a fantastic source of selenium, and selenium helps us make glutathione. Glutathione is like my favorite, if there was one, my favorite antioxidant, because it helps us ward off all of that oxidative stress in our body. Oxidative stress is probably another thing that I won't go into too much, but if you Google it, you'll learn just how important it is for us to address oxidative stress. And it basically, with inflammation, they go hand in hand to basically create all of the, I can't say all, but so many of the ill health conditions that we have these days. So that's basically the blend that we put in with the base. Now, we've spoken about the blend. Now we're going to talk about the base, and then we're going to talk about fermenting the smoothie to make all those numbers work. So just, how are we going, guys? I'll come back to the comments so I can see you. How's that landing so far? Do you have any questions on that so far? Okay, let's continue. So today, I'm going to show you how to make, which one am I going? I was in such a rush that I didn't actually confirm that I had all these ingredients on hand. Like I said, it's just, you guys know what it's like. It's been one of those crazy nutso days. So I'm just scrolling down. We've got a few base recipes that I'm still playing with to get it absolutely perfect. But there's quite a few there that I'm really happy with. This one here is Chock Berrylicious, and it's a recipe, I've adapted it just slightly, but it's a base recipe by Rebecca Walk, who's a functional health coach, and she loves fermented smoothies. So let me see if you can see my blend. Oh, I just knocked my microphone. Sorry if that was annoying. I'm going to see if you can see my blender here. You can probably see my dirty floor too. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, that works. I don't have to put it all the way down. So into this blender, we're going to put a couple of tablespoons of fermented yogurt. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this in about 2 minutes. And like I said, it's really not going to take long at all, but it is something new to get your head around. So in some of the recipes, it calls for more of this yogurt. It's really just coconut cream that's been fermented, and it's then called coconut yogurt because it gets that tangy yogurt taste. And so I'm going to put in a couple of tablespoons of this. Now, the reason I do this is because when you ferment something, I'm going to come back so I can see. When you ferment something, it draws out all the sugar, the carbs, that all just goes, just magically disappears. What you'll find is that something that might have a ton of carbs and sugar, you ferment that thing and it goes right down to, plummets down to like 1 gram of carb, or like a minuscule amount of those carbs. And so it's just such a magical way to get, to still get the benefits of all the fiber and antioxidants and vitamins and things in like bananas and strawberries, all those things that are usually off limits when it comes to a keto diet. You can still benefit and enjoy them all when you ferment them. And really, they don't taste much different. Like a fermented strawberry tastes like a strawberry. Like it's just marginally, like it's not as sweet, but it's got all the taste of a strawberry. A fermented banana loses the sweetness, but it still tastes like banana. So it's wonderful. I'm going to show you that in a second, like I said. Oh, thank you. That's lovely feedback. We do we do work a lot on these things to make sure that they're right. I just can't stand putting something out there that is not doing what it needs to do. I just feel that anything that we do, I want it to be functional. I want it to perform a job, and I want it to do it well. And so that's why we did it. Okay, so I'm putting in a couple of tablespoons of this. Now, you can go up to half a cup of this if you want, but I do find that it affects the taste too much, so that I just do a couple of tablespoons. My daughter's just texted me and she's at the beach with a friend. Let me just check. Okay, all good. All right. Then I'm going to put in a fermented banana, okay? So bear with me for a second. I'll get that out of the freezer with ice. Probably see on my beautiful charts here. This is our new chore chart. You know how you just go through stages where you have to just try something new with the family to actually keep the house in some resemblance of order? You do one thing and it works for a month and then it stops working. So that's our newest attempt. Now, this. Do I show you now? I won't show you now. I'll just make the smoothie and then I'll show you how to do it. So this is the fermented banana. It's like 2 halves put together. So I'm putting that in. And then I'm going to do half a cup of water. I'm just going to use my drinking water. I forgot to bring it over. I'm going to do a little bit of ice. I've just got to run this under the warm water to get the ice out. So just bear with me. And look, I don't know whether it's because I live on the Sunshine Coast and it's quite hot here, but I can't do a smoothie without copious amounts of ice in it. I think it tastes so much better when it's super cold. Right, so that's the ice done. Okay, so now I'm going to go for some coconut milk. Now, this is where you could literally just put more fermented yogurt in, but because I just felt like the taste was too sour, too strong, I've just reduced it down to a couple of tablespoons because you get so much benefit. Not only does it suck out the carbs and the sugar, I forgot to tell you that it also puts in like a therapeutic dose of probiotics. So that's why it's so fantastic for your gut. So I'm going to get some coconut milk. I was worried there for a minute. Out of coconut milk. I never run out of coconut milk. So I found it here. So we're going to put in about half a cup of this. So far it's pretty basic. It's just banana, coconut cream, water, and ice. Now this is where I love the combination of cacao and strawberry. Now both of them are really great for various reasons. I feel like the video might go on forever if I just go on and on about it. But I'm just going to put in 1 cup of these strawberries. Berries in general are actually really good for those on a keto diet. You know, often you don't even need to ferment them. You just pop them in because they are quite low in carbs and sugar. So in they go. They're beautiful. Side note, I went to the farmer's market this morning and I scored a 5-kilo box of blueberries for like $30, like spray-free, chemical-free. Amazing, huh? So that's the strawberries. Now I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of cacao. Now cacao, oh my goodness, we could go on about cacao for a very long time. Cacao is just so wonderful, not only for taste, but also for our gut in so many ways. It's been studied to have a super great effect on our mental health. And I'll stop there, otherwise I'll be with you all day. But cacao powder goes in. Now the last thing I'm going to put in is a little bit of cinnamon. It's not really necessary, but I think, I don't know, any way that we can get cinnamon in, the better. And it does go really well with this particular base. Now this, the booster blend that I'm about to show you is really tasteless. If you've tried some of our smoothie booster blends before, you might know that they each have their own distinctive taste. Like the immunity smoothie blend has camu in it. The cacao blend, or the chocolate all-rounder blend, has cacao in it. They all just have their own different taste. But this one, and here's this one here, this is the keto one. You would have heard from, like, when we were talking about the ingredients that go into this blend, none of them have like much taste. You've got high-fat foods like hemp seeds, like macadamia nuts, and then other things like psyllium that we put in there are tasteless. And so really, you can put this base with anything. A lot of the other smoothie booster blends, I had to sort of work to find bases that complemented the taste of the booster blend. But with this one, I have found that it just goes with anything. The tricky thing about a keto smoothie is because it's less sweet and we want to put vegetables in our blend, in our smoothies, then I find that the tricky thing is actually the sweetness level to disguise things. So missing the sweetness is sometimes an issue with a keto smoothie. It's not the booster blend per se. And so one way around that is to choose really strong flavors. Like this morning, I had a really nice one this morning. It was actually a ginger, lemon, spinach keto smoothie. And I even added like a greens powder in there as well. And it was beautiful. There was another one that I tried last week and it was cacao orange. Now, I'm not sure how you guys feel about using essential oils in your smoothies, like internally, but I put 1 drop of wild orange essential oil in my chocolate smoothie. It was like a choc orange Jaffa flavor. It was so delicious. And so choosing flavors that are quite potent and quite strong will take away the need for so much sweetness. And that's kind of what people miss when they make a keto smoothie. So in it goes, that's it. Oh, wait, I didn't do a vegetable. So this time I'm going to put in some avocado. You can do cauliflower. You can, hey Max, my family have just come home from the beach. Hey Rosie.
Is this the time where they're going to?
Sure, you can, yeah.
They're going to fun. Also,
hang on,
I left my charger on.
I heard. So I'm just putting a quarter of an avocado in there, guys. I'm just doing it live. But yeah, you can.
They're going to fun.
Just until I'm finished, okay?
My Nintendo doesn't have a charger, so then it's dead already.
Yeah. Anything. Have a swim. Okay, so, that's okay. There will be a replay. Oh, okay, Sue. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, it's the first time using this microphone, so it's hard to hear me when I'm not close to it. That's a bummer. I just spent a bit of money on this microphone. I was hoping it was going to fix the issues. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Elle. You get it. Okay, so I'm also going to put some spinach in here just to double up. You can totally put in cauliflower as well if you wanted to. Just go to town, but just figure out what works for you. Oh, it's super cute, Rosie. Rosie's just laid down with our dog having cuddles. All right, here we go. I'm going to whiz this up, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to ferment that banana that I just put in there, or even ferment the entire thing. Okay. So you can see that, or maybe you couldn't see there, but it wasn't blending up very well. So it's just important to add some liquid if it's not doing that. I'm getting a bit tired of the blender. I'm waiting on this. I've made contact with this awesome manufacturer of an amazing sounding blender. And they get, this new blender gets manufactured by end of January, and they're going to send us one to test. So I hope we'll just see how it goes.
You know what's
It's not working again.
Tail and your swims.
Hey Dad, how's it going?
Oh, yeah, good.
Good. We're just doing this live. We're showing people how to make a keto smoothie. Okay, so this blender is struggling a little bit, but it's not because of what's in there. It's just because the blender's just not the best. So I'm going to put more liquid in. This liquid is not water. It's actually a coconut water kefir. And so this is just coconut water that's been fermented. So you can enjoy the taste of coconut water without all the carbs and the sugar that come with it. And this is one hack that I have. She does. It's funny. I've just picked out a straw from the drawer, and I was feeling a bit nervous because I don't know about you guys, but when I wash up the straw, I get the straw cleaner and I poke it down the top and I poke it down the bottom. But sometimes when the family do the dishes, they don't do that. And yesterday, I put the straw in the smoothie and sucked up what I thought was the smoothie, but it was like smoothie from a day ago. It was disgusting. So please always check your straws before you do it. So that is our smoothie. It looks a bit bigger than usual. Well, that's actually probably quite a good amount of smoothie, but the one I made this morning was actually quite small. So they don't always have to be this big. The one I made this morning fit in here. And so it just depends what you want to put in it. Like we put banana and strawberries and extra liquid in here, whereas the one this morning didn't really have fruit. I think it had half a banana, but mostly just spinach that whizzed right down. And so that's, let me taste it. I wish you guys could taste it. Totally not tasting like fermented. Like it is chocolate, it is strawberry. I can taste all those flavors coming through and it tastes good, guys. I promise you, it tastes really good. So don't be afraid of a fermented smoothie. Now, let me show you the difference. Thanks, guys. Let me show you the difference between fermenting your entire smoothie, which is super simple, actually more simple, and then adding fermented products in like I just did. So you'll notice that I added in fermented coconut cream, a fermented banana, and fermented coconut water. And so those things took away the carbs and the sugar of those ingredients, but I still had everything else as normal. If you want to have a smoothie with whatever you want in there and ferment it right down, this is the way you can do it. So, oh, it's super cute. She's gone to sleep right next to you. I can see it. So, actually what I'm going to do first, this is going to probably take 5 to 10 more minutes and then we'll be done. So what I want to do first, here it is. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is. Rosie, do you want to say a quick hello? I know she always loves to say hello on the lives. You say hi? Hi.
Mom, where's the phone?
And Max has it, darling. Okay, so what I've got is just a glass jar here. Rosie, can you find him without yelling? Because I'm just talking to these awesome people online. I know you can't see them, but there's real people there. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? I don't know, you'll have to look for it. So, simple glass jar. Now, this is how you want to ferment let's just say you want to do bananas. I'm going to pull this down so you can see. This is so simple. You are just going to peel that banana. Ideally, you want to get ones that aren't so ripe, green ones. It just means that they ferment quicker because there's less sugar to ferment out of them. Yeah, Rosie.
Matt said, he said yes to the food for him too. When I asked for.
Yeah, I know, but I might just have to help you guys with that after. Sorry, that's a bit noisy for the microphone. Sorry, guys, that knife. So I'll do all of these so you can see the volume. Oh, sorry, that noise again. I just dropped the knife. Rosie, how about you ask Nana if you can go on hers for just a few minutes, okay? But you have to hop off as soon as I'm done, okay? Please don't judge me for using screen time for babysitting while I do this. I'm sure there are better things they could do, but oh well. Alrighty, so all we've done is just put those bananas in the glass jar, right? And then this is a coconut water. This is a coconut water kefir, which I'll show you how to make in just a second. We're going to fill it up halfway, or even just, some people say just to use 1 cup of this. I tend to just fill it up halfway. That's probably not even quite halfway, is it? But it will do the job. And so then I meant to prepare a jug of water to show you, and you just literally fill the rest up with water so it covers it. And then you put the lid on and you sit it on the bench. In Queensland, all it needs is, if I do this in the morning, it'll be done that night. If you live in a colder place, you might just need an extra day or something. The way you know it's ready is if you can see little bubbles, or if you just pull out a bit and taste it, and if it's still sweet, then it just needs a bit more time. But that's as easy as it is. And then the way that I freeze them for a smoothie, because you need frozen bananas for a smoothie, guys. Like, it just, if you have the same smoothie, one with a frozen banana and the other with a not frozen banana, you will know the difference. Like, it is so good to have frozen banana. But the way I do it, because these fermented bananas have a tendency to stick together in the freezer, I just freeze them separately. This is one that I did last night. I just freeze them separately and then just pick them up and chuck them in a freezer bag or a food pouch and into the freezer, because then they won't stick. Does that make sense? Tell me if that makes sense. Yeah, someone said, wow, so easy. Done. Yeah, see? It's just something to get your head around. It's not complicated. Now I'm going to show you, this is literally another really quick one. I'm going to show you how to make that coconut kefir. Now, even outside of the smoothie world, coconut water kefir is yummy. You just met Rosie and she begs for her fizzy drink. Her fizzy drink is not soft drink, it's coconut water kefir. And so what we do, side note, Cocoa Coast, the best tasting coconut water on the planet that I've ever tried anyway. We get such raving reviews and feedback about this coconut water. But one thing I will say is that their lids are really hard to get off. I hear that little alpha, what you call it. So I'm going to stab it. So what I'm going to do here, I'll show you. I'm just going to let that drain in. We need 2 litres of coconut water. This is 1.25, so I'm going to do about 750 mils of the other one. You really don't need to measure, but I tend to find myself doing it anyway. Sounds so funny, doesn't it? All right. Okay, so that's 2 litres of coconut water. We are literally now going to put in, let me rinse out this cup. Now this is all we do. We're going to add 1 cup of coconut water kefir that we've made earlier. When you first make it, you just need to order the starter, which is this, from Cultured Wellness. I'll give you a link. And that's all you need to do. So you just add in their starter, which is literally just 1 cup of their coconut water kefir. And it just feeds off the 2 litres of coconut water that you've already added in there. And that's all you do. So I'm going to put that lid on. I don't really mix it. I'll just do this a couple of times. And that now sits on the bench for a similar amount of time. I do find that the bananas are quicker than the coconut water, but that's it, done. And so then you use this coconut water kefir to ferment anything else you want to ferment, whether it be bananas, whether it be strawberries, whatever. And that's it. When it comes to the yogurt, it's the same thing, but just with a different starter, and you use coconut cream instead of coconut water. That's it. So simple. It will suck up all the carbs and the sugars in your smoothie or in your food, and it will inject all those probiotic goodness. There's something like 41 billion CFU, which is colony forming units of bacteria, good beneficial bacteria, in these ferments. And so this is just as simple as it gets. Now, there is one last thing that I want to show you when it comes to a fermented smoothie. You may choose to do what I did today, which is just pre-ferment everything that you want to ferment with, like, you know, just keep fermented bananas in the freezer to go. You can do that, or you can do it this way. Let me show you. Okay, I'm going to use a jar. You can use a cup, whatever you want. And my banana's gone. I'm just going to get a fresh banana. Okay, so let's just say you wanted to make a chocolate banana smoothie. You're literally just going to put your banana in. Maybe you're going to add some cacao in there, whatever you want. Let's add some blend in there, some booster blend. You can add spinach, cauliflower, whatever you want, right? Just go for gold with your smoothie. Then you just pop this in, and that becomes the liquid of your smoothie, right? You obviously put more in there. That was quite a lot of liquid to solids, that ratio, but just for demonstration purposes. And you can just sit that on the bench overnight and then whiz it up in the morning with some ice. And that's your fermented smoothie. So then everything in there is fermented, even your cauliflower, which can tend to have some, cauliflower from memory has high carb, I can't quite remember. But that's it. That's as easy as it can be. So then you don't need to keep, frozen fermented bananas on hand or whatever. So which way do you think, I'm interested to hear, what's your vote? Which way is actually sounding more convenient or more doable for you guys? I'd love to hear. Elle had a question, I think. How do you know when the coconut ferment is done? The coconut water ferment will be fizzy and not as sweet. I still think it tastes a little bit sweet. I don't know whether it's just the bubbles that fool my brain into thinking that it's sweet, but it will be a little bit fizzy and it will be less sweet. The coconut yogurt or the fermented coconut cream will be ready when it gets that kind of like that sour tang to it. And you can ferment it a short time to be mild when you're first starting. And then if you want to make it even more potent and more effective at taking out those carbs and sugars, then you can just ferment it for a longer amount of time And you'll taste the difference. You can taste a mild ferment to a stronger, more potent ferment. So there is a difference. I tend to just keep it going until it tastes sour to me. It's probably about a medium amount that I do all the time. Someone said that I up the second way. Chuck it all in and leave it overnight. Second way. Yeah, okay. So you guys tend to like that second way. I think I can understand that. I think that that's a pretty easy way to go. My habit, I think, was just to have those fermented fruits on hand at the start before I discovered that way. I don't know why I routinely do it that other way. I'll have to just experiment with new habits and stuff. Isn't it funny how we do things and get just in a habit for not no particular reason? That's why I was doing it the other way. So that's, yeah, why don't you just make your coconut kefir like we've just done. Grab your coconut water, put in your starter, make that, keep it in the fridge, and then every night you just put your smoothie ingredients in a jar, top it up with coconut kefir, and have it in the morning with ice. Yes. Thanks, guys, for helping me see that. Both look like you need to think ahead. Yeah, Linda, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a new habit to form. And so, yes, you need to think the night before and go, okay, what am I having for breakfast? I'm having a smoothie. Okay, let's chuck it in a jar and put some kefir on top. I think the best way to progress with your keto lifestyle is to always have that coconut water kefir on hand. Like if I'm ever running low, I just know it's time to do another one. And it's just now what we do. It's just a way of life now for us. And it's not hard. Our daughter does it independently. I don't need to sort of, it's not a complicated process, as you've seen. It's dead easy. But yeah, you do need to think ahead. That's just one of the things that becomes the reality when you're wanting to sort of tick all the boxes with the ketogenic lifestyle, which is so important to do. Because when you think about it, that smoothie here, right, this has, now, so I can get it right, I'm going to pull it up on my spreadsheet so I can get the number right. But you'll notice that in any keto smoothie, you'll find, I challenge you to find a smoothie that delivers more than like 5 grams of fiber. And we need to be shooting for like that 35, right? This smoothie delivers, what's it got here? I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So it's 14.7 plus 5, so it's about, 20 grams of fiber. Like this smoothie is giving you like more than half of your daily requirement of fiber, which is unreal when it comes to the ketogenic lifestyle. No carb, well, probably like 1 gram of carbs if you did the whole smoothie fermented like that second way. Like it's so cool and it still tastes amazing. So I hope you have enjoyed learning about how important it is to get the ratio right of carbs to fat to protein. Importantly, that protein is really quite tricky, and getting those carbs down without fermenting is near impossible. And so it's just such a cool magic trick. This is how you can do it. It's so easy. No problem, Becky. We're going to finish off anyway. Thank you so much for being here. And Elle, does it freeze? The coconut water kefir does, well, no, I don't think so. I don't think it freezes, hey. I think you just have to keep it in the fridge. It can keep for months, though. So you don't need to sort of have it within a week or anything like that. It's pretty robust. It's not very fragile. Oh, cool. Elle said you're about to put an order in from KW. That's awesome. Oh, and yes, recipe, of course. Thank you for the reminder. I'm going to put together, I'll put together a PDF of this recipe and I'll post it in the group and I'll email it around. And then I'm going to update the smoothie ebook that I believe many of you will have already, because I'm hoping that you've done the smoothie challenge. If you haven't, then definitely do it because you'll learn about the benefits of all these ingredients. But I'm going to update that ebook in the coming, Christmas is coming up. So let's just say by February, I'm going to update the ebook with a whole bunch of base recipes for the keto blend. But for now, I'll just put together a quick PDF and I'll post it in the group of this Chock Berrylicious smoothie. All right. I'm glad that you liked it, Elle. Thanks. I can't see your name, but thank you for the great feedback. I hope you enjoyed it. Isn't it amazing how it always just takes a little bit longer than you think? It is now 3 o'clock. Sorry for keeping you a bit longer than I said I would. Have a great afternoon. If you are interested in the vegan gut loving smoothie, then that's happening tonight at 8:30 daylight savings time, so Sydney, Melbourne, 7:30 standard time, which is my time, Brisbane. If you're in WA, it's 5:30. I hope you can work out your own time zone, but that's tonight. So you're so welcome to come along and join us for that. And if not, then I will see you. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, the Keto Booster Blend is, like you probably gathered, is a new one that we've just developed. And we're going to give you guys a savings code for 20% off until Monday midnight. It's called New SS Blends 20, I believe. I'll post it in both groups now. So you can go ahead and grab that if you would like it. Okay, have a great weekend, guys. So good to see you. See you. Bye.